There's at least there's two of you in here. It looks like. I think. I mean, do I have to keep putting reminders out and letting people know that I'm streaming?
I really like PlayStation.
But hope you guys are doing all right. Like, nobody showed up. Nobody. Mom. Hello, how you doing? I don't know. I think I accidentally put up a post that I wasn't gonna do a stream, but I think it was because I got days mixed up. So hopefully more people show up.
Why don't I just fix it?
And I'm right now editing a video.
We're gonna talk about today in this video. So we do have to.
Yeah. An idea for that sounds awful. A Lego X-Men movie, that sounds awful. No, 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 no. That is an awful idea. Alright. Yeah. Okay. I think that's good. What's up, James? What do I think of the new? Well, I'm not the new Fantastic Four. I'm not gonna see it. I'm not interested. Dude, I told you, like, I'm done with Marvel. Like, I've not watched a Marvel, like, I guess MCU film technically probably since Infinity War. Like, I don't count Deadpool and Wolverine. That's not an MCU film to me. But yeah, I'm done. Like, anything that's associated with it, I want nothing to do with it. So, Fantastic Four, not interested. Yeah, good. And I'm currently editing another tier list video that I'll probably upload maybe after the stream, after the mystery stream. Um, so, yeah. And now it's currently exporting. So, uh, hey, Chillax. Did I see Until Dawn? I didn't even know that movie was coming out till I was walking out of Star Wars. I was like, what? Until Dawn? I was like, they made a movie of that? Why? But no, I didn't even know they were making a movie of that. And no, I didn't see it. Why? I played the game twice. I know what the story is, so yeah, I wasn't interested. What about a new Batman? Nope, don't need a new Batman Lego movie anything. One was enough. One was just fine. Tier list RoboCop films. You don't need a tier list for that. If we're doing them in order, it'd be like RoboCop 1 is obviously the best one. RoboCop 2 is the second best. Then the remake is third. And then RoboCop 3 is the worst. There's only 4 films. So, finally, the Brock has come back to host. I did do an episode last week, so I haven't gone anywhere. But okay, I guess that's a hint to The Rock, who I currently am not a fan of right now because he fucked up WrestleMania. But what's up with ED209? What's his problem? We can't go up. Well, he can't go upstairs. He can't climb stairs. That's his problem. But Darlax can't do that either. For my Deadpool X-Men Heroes game, have every character on the roster. I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, we got a solid hour, so heck, having Blade as a playable character for a Deadpool game for once, and go ahead and go for it. Forza on PlayStation 5 now. Is it? I don't think it is. I think they would have announced something if they announced that Forza was on PlayStation 5 now. Pretty sure it's not. I know I would have heard it. And why do you need Forza? You have Gran Turismo. I mean, that's the point. Forza Horizon. I don't believe you. They would have announced something on Twitter about that. Motherfucker. What? I don't fucking believe it. Wow. Okay, they did this recently. Wow, they're serious. Wow, this is actually gonna wow. This is actually gonna happen. We might actually get Halo in the next couple of months. Wow. But I mean, why would you want Forza? I mean, Forza and Gran Turismo are practically the same damn game. They're both driving simulators, so I always thought that was weird. I mean, fine, but all right. You like Chipotle? No, not really. How am I? I'm doing all right, Jackie boy. How are you doing? Is it true that Papa John's pizza slices are big? Yes, they're big. They're very big. I'd say like they're as big as like two like large size pizzas. I would say. I've been unable to know for sure. So, do you know which material is superior, adamantium or vibranium? I would guess adamantium. My guess. I don't know too much about vibranium. Forza Horizon is an open world game. This one takes place in Mexico, while the other takes place in England, Australia, Europe, plus America. I don't know. Jelly beans, I guess, if I had in my own snack. Hey Zach Tarf, how you doing? I am still trying. Still trying to get this damn thing to work. Good here doing Mass Effect. Ryan Reynolds says Goku. No. Dear God, no. Brian, I'm going to Disney World. Holy shit, man! Let me know how you plan out. How many days you going? Because me and John, we want to do that too. But like, because of how big that is, that's that's a week trip. I think the most we've ever spent at an amusement park. I think we went to Universal here in Hollywood, and we did that for like 2 days. But like a Disney World, because how big it is, that's like a week-long trip. And on top of that, we also want to go to Universal Studios because they just opened a new park. Like I think it's supposed to open up later in May, like May 22nd. So that's something we kind of want to do. Have I seen Noctvolcane? I don't know what that is. Never heard of it. Do you think the PlayStation 6 will release? No, I don't think so. I think I think best guess you might hear something in like 2028. I think so. I think 2028. I think we'll get like chirps of it in 2027. Then it'll come out in 2028. I believe that. I think 8 years after after the 5's release seems about right. Why was Vegeta a villain in the beginning? Oh, because that's how he was trained, and he's not really a villain. I mean, Saiyans don't consider themselves a villain. That's just what they do. They blow up planets. I mean, the Nazis didn't think they were evil, and that's just what they did. They didn't think they were bad. Would you like to have read Crying Freeman? No. An idea for Margot Robbie as Mystique? No. Six shirt. Who's my favorite lightsaber duelist? That's Exar Kun, no question. Nintendo World in Orlando. You've seen it. I think it's the same as in Hollywood. I don't think the only difference I know is that I don't know if it's in Orlando or if it's in Japan. but I think the Japan one has the Donkey Kong ride. But like, I think I'm not sure where it opens up first. I know it's done in Japan, Universal Studios. I'm just not sure, and I know they. And when we were last there, we were seeing it being built, but I don't think it's open in Hollywood yet. It might open up in Orlando first. I don't think it's open in Orlando yet. I might be wrong on that, but that's really the only difference that I could tell between the two parks. I promise not to talk about Cher. Okay, Gordon, I appreciate it. You're going to Disney World for the 15th time coming, Jen. I have gone every year since. Damn, you are one. You must be one rich bastard if you can afford to go to Disney World every single year. That is incredible. I just want to go once. I think there's some amusement parks I feel like you need to go once. Like Disneyland, I can go to Disneyland today anytime I want. It's only a 4-hour drive, or it's like an hour, like a less than hour flight if I really wanted to. But Disney World, yeah, you got to go there with friends, and you got to be there for at least a week to experience everything. What made Vegeta an ally? I think pretty... Okay, wait, I skipped one. The Korra and Jack fight, I shared it with some Mass Effect fans. Quite a few say Jack wins because she's superhuman and raised from infancy to be powerful biotic, and Korra is a natural-born biotic. Korra is a natural-born biotic, but the problem is that Korra, like, Jack's not superhuman. I don't know where they think that. Like, she and Korra have similar backgrounds. What I'm saying is that the difference is that Jack was put with other biotic children, and she was forced. They were experimenting on her to test her powers. The reason I give Korra the advantage is that Korra has proper training, and she trained with the Asari. If you want to learn biotics, there is literally no better species in Mass you could learn better than biotics. So if you're gonna take someone on in a biotic fight, you don't want to go up against an Asari because you're gonna lose. Like Jack, like if Jack were to get into a fight with Samara would mop the floor of her. It's not even close. Like Asari are naturally stronger than any human biotic ever could, and Korra trained with the most elite biotic users of the Asari species for years. I don't really think there's any... Jack's used to taking on mercenaries like herself. She's not used to taking on other powerful biotics. Like, I think that if her and Miranda would have gotten into a fight, that fight probably would have ended in a draw. I don't think Jack would have won, and I don't think Miranda would have won. I think they would have probably... It would have been a stalemate. But I think Korra had more proper training, and that means something. Do I think Ryan Reynolds needs to retire from Deadpool? Yes. What made Vegeta an ally with Goku? I think he just became an ally because it was easier to have Goku as an ally when he was fighting against Frieza. It would not have been a good thing for him to try to take on Frieza and Goku at the same time. It's better that way. Who is the most underrated Nintendo character in my opinion? Underrated? Luigi. He's very underrated. I feel Vegeta became a good guy by a heart, but he was an asshole like Sub-Zero and Quan Liang. I guess you could go down that route. Remember the original Resident Evil 4 when Hugget informs Leon of the first chopper being shot down? Who do you think took it out? I don't know, probably some random enemy. Did I play BioShock? Yes, Gordon, I've played all the BioShocks, and I've ranked them too, and I have streamed them and live streamed them on Twitch and YouTube multiple times over the years. They were probably thinking about her smashing all those heavy mechs in her recruitment missions. I think Korra could do the same thing. Jack sounds a bit like a savage. Yes, I would say that much. But I would say she got a little bit better in Mass Effect 3. She's less of a savage. Plus, remember, Jack Shields bit into me a little bit more too in the final mission. Okay, but here's the thing. I would say what Jack did, what Korra did was way bigger. Like if you take the size of the barrier, Korra's was like at least 5 times bigger. Now, you could cut that in half because she was working alongside another Asari, but it was Korra that made the initial boost. We have never seen Jack do anything on that scale. Like, if you look at how small they are and how big that barrier was massive, and it repelled an entire barrage of anti-ship missiles. I don't think Jack could do that at all. Who's my favorite in Smash Brothers? Okay, I skipped a couple questions. Sony's making Zelda movies sound like a bad idea. Yes, I think so too. But I mean, who's like Link can't talk, so what do you do? Link's not supposed to talk, so how do you get around that? Who's my favorite main in Smash Brothers? Well, I've only ever played the very first one, and I think my favorite character is probably Link. Yeah, it was definitely Link. Could I name my favorite game with a character creation system? Whoa. The character creation system. That's. Well, let me. Oh, that's a tough one. No, I can't think of it off the top of my head right about now. I'm trying to see if I can pull up my list. Character creation. No, there's nothing in my 10 out of 10 club. I really can't think of it off the top of my head. Maybe Cyberpunk or something like that. Sub-Zero, yeah, I guess so. Not sure if someone could compare Jack or Cora to the likes of Cal and Starkest. Okay, I don't think it's fair to compare Biotics with the Force. The Force can do a lot more than Biotics can, and it's a lot more creative. How do you get monetized? I think you just need to get over a certain number of subscribers, I think, and have a certain number of views. I think if you do that, then I think that qualifies you for a YouTube partnership. Was Midway Mortal Kombat Scorpion a villain? No. No, he was not. It is confirmed that Scorpion in the first game was kind of he wasn't even under the control of Shang Tsung. He was lied to and told that Sub-Zero had killed his family. So no, it was more of like a, well, I'll temporarily work for you, but I want to get to Sub-Zero. Like I would say the remake of Mortal Kombat, so which would be in Mortal Kombat 9, I think it did a pretty solid job of explaining the whole Scorpion Sub-Zero issue. I think it did a pretty good job of going over it. Or maybe it was a militant goon rocket. Maybe it could have been. Have I heard of Zhuang Liang? Sounds familiar. Sounds like a Dynasty Warriors character. I could be wrong, Jackie Boy. That name looks familiar to me for some reason. Well, counterpoint, Jack took on Kuai Liang and broke two high-level Cerberus agents at the same time, and Kuai Liang beat Thane. Okay, here's the thing. If it was a straight-up fight, sure. My counter is that Cora will disarm. Okay, her combination of biotic attacks will knock Jack down, and Cora will pounce on her immediately, so she's not gonna have a chance to. It's like, I think in a hand-to-hand combat fight, it's possible. It's just a matter of her biotic attacks, immediate disarming. That's how I think it would play out. If it was a strict gunfight, then I think Jack would probably come out the winner. But it's simple enough matter of, I think, the use of Tai Chi to immediately knock and disable someone. Basically, you hit Jack with enough force, you don't give her time to really put up a fight. That's what it is. Like, instead of a long-term engagement, you immediately incapacitate her. Like, trust me, if you look at Vegeta. One hit over the back of Goku's head knocked him clean out of Super Saiyan 2. Something like that. It's like you just knock him out quick. Your favorite Yu Hakusho character? Kuwabara. I think he's my favorite. Yeah, I wouldn't say Yusuke and I wouldn't say Hiei, but Kuwabara I would say I'd say he's probably I would say he's my favorite. Favorite Mortal Kombat game? I would say 9, but I easily was probably the best in Mortal Kombat 1. I actually platinumed that game. That's the first Mortal Kombat game I've ever platinumed, and I spent probably the most amount of time. But I actually spent I think I have 80 hours in that game, which is nuts. Like, and I actually won that was like the one of the first. That's like one of the only Mortal Kombat games I can recall where I actually spent a good amount of time playing online and actually got a good amount of wins. But I would say the best one was probably Mortal Kombat 9. I would say. Let's see what else. Can I explain Dragon Ball Z terms Super Saiyan? You mean, wait, can I explain? You mean SSJ? I don't know why it's always been like that. I don't know. I'm really the wrong person. Tai Chi? What was funny? That's what it's called. Okay, Zach, why are we throwing Master Chief into this? That's something else. Who's my favorite comedian? Ooh, that's tough. But I give the advantage to Jim Carrey, with Dave Chappelle being a good second. I remember Xbox players argue who would beat Kratos Master Chief. Oh my god. Kratos would destroy... Okay, I mean, that's nice, Master Chief. You know, you take on some aliens, take on the Flood, but, like, Kratos literally kills gods. What the hell can Master Chief do against gods? And I don't even think the Flood could infect Kratos at all, really. I mean, he's not got, like, divine blood. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. That's a little weird. Because you don't want the Flood to touch you, but Kratos is all about getting up and close and personal, so... But no, a fight between those two, yeah, Kratos is definitely destroying Master Chief. And that little feet catching, throwing back from the missiles that Korra did to someone like Starkiller, no, yeah, you still can't really compare that. Is Assassin's Creed Shadows long? It can be if you want to do all the side missions. It can be. Like, I've already put like 70 hours into that game, and I'm doing like all the side missions. But if you just want to beat it, you probably could beat it in like 40 hours, I'd say. Mortal Kombat 10 graphics were not good. I thought they were good. X-Men Days of Future Past is 11 years old. Thanks for reminding me how old I am. You think Omi-Man could take on Kratos? Maybe, but I don't really know Omi-Man that well. Avengers Age of Ultron is 10 years old, and still with Ant-Man in July. Okay, I feel old. I'm asking, do you think they could do it easier or something similar to those feats? Probably. I mean, the Force is so much more powerful than biotics, I would say. Can Kratos destroy Thanos? Does he have the Infinity Gauntlet or not? Can I do the robot dance? Not online. Yeah, like when it comes to Thanos, like, you have to ask, does he have the Infinity Gauntlet or not? If he has it, well, then he's pretty formidable. If he doesn't have it, there's a lot of people that can just flat out kick his ass. Like, he's really nothing without it. Okay, and my tier list video is now done. What do you think of a song, Go Jimmy Jimmy? I don't know what that is. Never heard of it. I mean, it's questionable about Vader because remember, he's more machine than man. Yeah, but he's a hell of a lot more powerful. Like, dude, he's leagues more powerful than Anakin ever was. Anakin had more potential, but, like, having all that metal in his body, it forced him to have to get stronger. So, like, dude, like, I would say by, like, A New Hope, and that's not even his strongest version, he would mop the floor with Anakin, and it's not even close. Kratos versus Darkseid. He'll go with Darkseid. I don't know what that means. Superman versus Vegeta. Who's winning? Probably Superman. Yeah, if Superman could take out Goku, then he's not gonna have any problems with Vegeta. Was Hayden Christensen bad? I didn't think he was. I mean, are there a couple? I would say he's way better in Revenge of the Sith. I mean, are there like one or two scenes a little much? Yeah. But I would say overall, I thought his performance was just fine. I mean, there's like one element of episode 3 that even all these years later didn't work. And I saw it in theaters and I was like, this still doesn't work. It was a problem in episode 2 and it's still here now, but there's less of it. Could any other supervillains other than Thanos weak stone gloves? Yeah, anyone can wield an Infinity Gauntlet. Anyone can wield one. I know Kratos can destroy Shao Kahn. Yeah, I would say so. Go Jimmy Jimmy was a song from Jimmy Neutron movie. I never saw that film. I know who Jimmy Neutron is, but I never saw the movie. So I know nothing about that. Darth Vader heavily influenced from Big Boss? No. How? No. No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't be. That's not a good comparison. I mean, I understand why, but by the time Big Boss was created, like, the prequels hadn't even been made yet, so we didn't even know what the story was. And heck, even by 2000, like, remember, we're in 2003. The first game that really featured Big Boss heavily came out in 2003. Episode 3 doesn't come out for another 2 years. So how on earth could Kojima have been influenced by Star Wars when those ideas weren't even really presented yet? We didn't know everything yet. So no, I don't think that's a good comparison. The Void Sentry versus Superman. I don't know who the Void Sentry is. I don't know who's that. I do not know who that is. Actually, Vader lost a lot of his connection with the Force when he... Okay, no. Okay, that is false. His connection was seriously damaged at first. The best way I could describe it is, I think Palpatine says something like this. It's like Vader can never be what he could have been, meaning that, but he is way stronger now than he ever would have been as Anakin. Because you have to remember, Anakin was not interested in developing his Force powers. That was never a goal for him. He was more of a sword fighter. He was more direct. And because he has the highest Force potential, but he wasn't that interested in it. He really wasn't. And so Anakin stayed, like, let's say Order 66 never happens. Let's say that Anakin never goes to the dark side. He never would have become as powerful as, like, Vader by the time he died. He would have never had a need to grow stronger as a Force wielder. Having those disabilities force Vader to have to be stronger with the Force because he's at a disadvantage. So because he's at a disadvantage, he has to use it more than he ever did as Anakin. And because of that, he was way stronger. And even Vader acknowledged that. Like, he says if that had never happened, like, he's stronger now because of his disabilities. And even Palpatine acknowledged that. Favorite Zelda game? Link to the Past. Favorite Superman movie? Man of Steel. Clone Wars TV Anakin was a hell of a lot better than movie Anakin. Debatable, I'd say. I think you might say that just because we had a lot more time with Clone Wars Anakin. But I could understand why people would feel that way. Father-son dynamic way back in the OG trilogy. No. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but yeah, the dynamic between Solid Snake and Big Boss is very different from Big Boss and Solid Snake. It's not even close. Anakin was more interested in romantic love. I think he had a problem with attachments. That's his problem. And one thing, George Lucas cannot write romance. And I still cannot buy the whole Padme-Anakin relationship. It makes no sense. That was the biggest problem with Attack of the Clones, and it was still there in Revenge of the Sith. It was way worse in the first half than the second half. The second half, it was a lot better. But it made no sense. Like, do you guys realize Attack of the Clones takes place over 8 days? How the hell do we go from meeting people and marrying each other over the course of 8 days? I don't buy that. That does not happen. And even if you read the Padme Amidala novel, the funny thing is that Padme did not think about Anakin at all over those 10 years. Like, Anakin, first line, I've spent 10 years thinking about her. Buddy, she has not thought about your ass at all. So this whole relationship makes no goddamn sense. I still cannot find anyone to explain that one to me. It does not work at all. Do you think Mission Impossible 8 will be the last one? Apparently, Tom Cruise wants to do 20 more years of Mission Impossible if he's 63. I doubt it. If anything, I think this could be his last Mission Impossible, and then they'll probably reboot it with someone else, someone younger. I think he'll still be like an executive producer, but I could easily see this being the end of Ethan Hunt's story. I could see that happening. An idea for an R-rated Dragon Ball movie? They would never do that. Nope, can't do that. You cannot do an R-rated. Just morally, you can't. I tried Ocarina when I was a kid. It's too hard for me without strategy guide. A lot of games back then you can't beat without strategy guides. So you would buy Scott and Cody's romantic relationship. What? What do you mean? Who's that? Scott and Cody's. Who's that? I don't. What do you mean? Who's Corey? I don't know who that is. I still remember Anakin. I don't like sand scene. It's cringe, but it's a funny meme. What led the Jedi's Destruction prequel, for example? What led it? Their own arrogance, really. If Ocarina of Time got a remake for the Switch proper fast travel, would I wouldn't play a remake of Ocarina of Time. I never played it. I've never played Ocarina of Time. I've only played 3 Zelda games my entire life. I've not played a Zelda game in like 20 years. I've played Link to the Past, Oracle of Ages, and Seasons on Game Boy Color. Those are the only 3 Zelda games I've ever played. I'm not a big Zelda fan. I mean, I like those 3 games, but I would not consider myself a Zelda fan. Who's cooler, Snake or Ethan Hunt? Oh, definitely Snake. Was Saturn a flop? If so, why? What do you mean Saturn? The planet? I don't know. What do you mean? I meant Scott Ryder versus Cora Harper. Okay, well, yeah, then say Ryder and Cora. You're thinking Scott and Corey. Would I buy that romance? Yeah, because it develops over a period of time. It doesn't happen automatically. And it's built more organically. It's not forced. And you can romance anyway. So, yeah, I think that's a lot better. But then you could compare that to any romance. It happens like, you can't determine how much time has passed. I mean, who knows? As far as we know, the entire plot for Andromeda takes place over a period of months, for all we know. That's way more believable. Sega Saturn. Was the Saturn a flop? I mean, maybe here in the States, but it wasn't in Japan. It sold like hotcakes in Japan. It was just not good promoting. The launch was flawed. I heard NC-17 is higher than R rating. Yes, it is. NC-17 is. In combat, who wins? 1v1v1. Jason Bourne, Ethan Hunt, or... Okay, Ethan Hunt's going down. But Jason Bourne versus Bond. Damn, that's tough. I'm going to give the slight edge to Bourne. I think Bourne... It'd be a tough fight, but I think Bourne would get the job done. I would change Padme from being a politician and authoritative figure to some kind of worker to keep Darth Vader from knowing where Padme is during the Galactic Civil War. I mean, I wouldn't do that. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Super Game? How you doing? And what's up, Wonder Ghost? Was Dream Class a flop? I don't think it was. It was only a flop because the timing of when it came out was bad, and it didn't have a DVD port. Like it was just bad that it came out shortly before the PlayStation 2 came out. And the PlayStation 2 was a monster console. Nothing was going to beat that. The Xbox didn't beat it. The GameCube didn't beat it. Anything that came out of that generation was going to get slaughtered by the PlayStation 2. And the fact that, you know, the Dreamcast did not have a disc drive. It could not play DVDs. Really hurt it. The Xbox could play DVDs, and I think the GameCube could play movies, but they had to be on those specific discs. But, like, the fact that it could do more than just play games at that point it really hurt the Dreamcast. So I guess you could say it was a flop, but I think had it come out like a year earlier, it could have established a big enough fan base to survive a little bit longer than it did. But it was going to get slaughtered by the PlayStation 2 no matter what happened. What if the Sega Nomad was successful? Oh God, don't even bring that up. Because I heard back in 2007 it was close to N17. I heard that too, but nothing that some edit. So was RoboCop. Dude, RoboCop got an X rating, and that's worse. in 1980s, RoboCop had to go in. Heck, Dredd had an X. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone's Dredd. The first cut of that film was X rated for violence, and it had to be re-edited so much to just barely get an R rating. So it makes you wonder, like, what did they take out of Dredd? Look it up. Would Sega ever decide to go into console business? No. Oh, no. No. I think Microsoft is about to go down the same path, where they're just giving up on hardware and they're going to go to software. I think that is very, very close. Remember the whale at the beginning level of Sonic Adventure? Yeah, who doesn't forget well, of course not. That was like in all the promotions. Zach Tarf. So do you think in character Vader... Wait, what? So do you think in character Vader would think Biotics from Mass Effect is a poor attempt to replicate the Force? I don't think he would see it as a... I don't think it's a replication. It's just different. It's like if... It's like you could say Biotics would be seen as something like Dathomir magic. Like Dathomir magic is not the Force. It's a completely different power source that works very, very different. It would be seen as something like that. It's not the Force. It's a different kind of power that operates differently, separate from the Force. So that's how I would see it. Because Marvel will accept the R rating. Vader versus Big Boss episode. No, that's not a fight. Vader will just break Big Boss's neck. Just crack. But what the hell's Big Boss gonna do against the Force? What if the whale in Sonic was... yeah. What, Night Sister magic? What's funny about that? It's Night Sister magic or Dathomir magic. It's some Dathomir. Sony only had to go against Nintendo since Xbox is probably going to leave the console war. It will be interesting to think Nintendo will be pushed by Sony to make it better. It's kind of ironic. If that does happen, that's ironic because it was Nintendo that initially created the PlayStation. Because you have to remember that Sony was interested in creating a CD-based console for Nintendo, and Nintendo turned it down. So if Nintendo had accepted the offer, we wouldn't have a PlayStation. So, thanks Nintendo. Have I played Gravity Rush? I don't think so. What's up with the extra testosterols? Why don't they reveal themselves? I don't know. That's a big whoops. What's a big whoops? What? Wait, what happened? You just got a flashback to Philly's CDI. Oh, Lord. The less we talk about that, the better. Next thing you know, you're going to be talking about, bring back the Sega Jaguar or the Panther. Or the Lynx. Oof. Man, is that I just said that. Imagine if we... Oh, my Lord. The Panther would have been a failure too. I don't know what my snack would be. What would I rate out of 10 for RoboCop? That's easy. That's like a 9.5 out of 10. I'm trying to think like what. Man, that's like a perfect film. What's not to like about RoboCop? There's like one thing about Terminator 2 that I can, even years later, like I wish they could. There's like one scene in that whole film that bothers the shit out of me. I was just like, James Cameron, is there any way you could reshoot that one scene? It doesn't work. And it's cringe. It's like the only scene in Terminator 2 I don't like. It's because, and every time I see it, I get uncomfortable. Did I ever have an Atari? No. My dad did. But I don't think, but I think, yeah, my dad did. I do recall when I was younger, he did have, like, the joystick and a few games, but I don't think we had the console. So I knew what an Atari was, and it was definitely my dad's, because he kept it in his closet. But I never actually played. I think I have played an Atari, but it's been at, like, my local gaming bar, where they do have an Atari console in there that you can play. We rent the commercial cool and fun in RoboCop. Yeah. I know it would be the case Atari needs to... My favorite thing about RoboCop is the action scenes. Yeah, of course. It's great. Who did the Punisher better? Tom Jane, John... definitely Ray Stevenson. Yeah. No question. He's best Punisher. No question. Which is better, PSP or PS Vita? Oh, Vita. Vita is a vastly superior handheld than the PSP. I just don't know. I just think they didn't put enough support to make it successful. It's not even a question. The Vita, I still play my Vita. Better pistol, RoboCops or Snake SOCOM? I definitely get RoboCops. Triple blast pistol, absolutely. I'm so baffled that the Switch 2 screen is ICD screen instead of OLED. Get with the times. Heck, people are gonna buy it. They can do whatever they want. People are gonna buy it. So, ever played Lord of the Rings games? Yes, I have. In fact, I think I actually have the biz. Yeah, I recently picked this one up at a retro game store near here. This game is awesome. I would absolutely want to replay this on a modern console. Don't just update the graphics. Don't change the controls. This is easily one of the best hack and slash games ever, without question. I would love to stream that. And for some reason, Halo is not going through. I rate X-Men Days of Future Past Perfect 10. RoboCop versus Sonic. Probably Sonic. How the hell would RoboCop hit him? If Rocksteady went under instead of Monolith, I don't think it will. I think it'll be fine. Best gun would you rather use? Asari weapons or Korra's use, or rather use lightsabers? Would I rather use Asari weapons from Korra or a lightsaber by Vader? Well, close range or short range? I think the lightsaber. Well, I don't know. I mean, I got Vader's lightsaber right here, so I already got. So I guess I go Korra's weapons by default because I already have Vader's lightsaber. So I'm already ahead. Yes, that's a surprise. You think the Auto 9 is better than the SOCOM? Makes sense. Yeah, I'd say it is. Who is the most underrated girl in Final Fantasy? Underrated? Gee, that's tough. That's tough. I don't think Yuffie gets the respect she deserves. I'd go with Yuffie. I remember when Google tried to compete with... Yeah, I remember that too. It didn't last. I love RoboCop, but Terminator 2 tops the film. Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. Is it fair to say Sonic is like the Flash / Quicksilver? I mean, the fact that he can run super fast, he's got all these powers, I guess. Halo or Doom? Okay, are you saying, what do I think is better? Or, okay, when it goes to you, are you asking me, what do I think is better, or which game do I prefer playing more? Gotta be specific with that question. I mean, a lightsaber is more elegant weapon than what the Asari make. True, but the Asari gives you range. like, I mean, unless you have the Force, there's not much you can do with a lightsaber. Like, if I don't have the Force, if I don't get up close, I don't have the Jedi's reflexes. I can't use this as a long-range weapon using lightsaber throws. So that's why I would say maybe a gun is better. But if you had the Force, then you could say a lightsaber is a better weapon. Because it never runs out of bullets, and you don't have to reload it. And once you get to close ranges, they're pretty much done for. I imagine if ballistic weapons returned in Star Wars, more lightsaber wielders would get some serious burns. Yeah, probably. You know, you don't need ballistic missiles. There are way more powerful weapons in Star Wars than ballistic missiles. You wouldn't need them. I mean, there are weapons that blow up entire planets. I mean, ballistic missiles aren't going to do all that much. Could Sonic withstand one of the blasts from RoboCop's guns? If he could hit him, maybe. Movie RoboCop versus Terminator crossover. I don't need to do that. They already did a comic book of that. Which do I prefer? I think Halo is a better franchise, but if I had to pick, I would definitely pick recent version of Doom. I've had a lot more fun playing Doom, but I do recognize that Halo was probably the best and most successful first-person shooter franchise, even more so than Call of Duty. But I would definitely pick Doom. I read a fanfic where instead of Cuckoo or Cocoa Puffs, Cortana becomes the... Wow, that's some imagination. I don't know why, but I just thought of... What if Wolverine's claws were all lightsabers? That'd be pretty interesting. I mean, guns that use proper bullets, possibly. Days Gone does have some bugs/glitches. It did, but, you know. RoboCop versus Doom Guy? Oh, God, Doom Guy's killing RoboCop. Oh, God. What the heck? Dude, one BFG blast. RoboCop is dead. RoboCop is dead, and he fights demons from hell. That's a lot tougher than a half-man, half-machine robot who's got limited weapons. Like, dude, the type of weapons that Doom Guys would probably tear RoboCop to pieces. I would love to see Zone of Enders have a comeback. I really doubt it would happen. Yeah, it probably won't happen. I'm shocked Days of Gone didn't get a sequel. I'm shocked too. Hopefully enough good word goes around and it gets a sequel. It deserves a sequel. It was a great game. I mean, I bought a collector's edition for it. I mean, it's right over there. On the bottom row in my collector's case, you can see right above me, which I finally was able to get it filled up after like a year or two not doing anything. Do you need to try it? I would say give it a shot. It's a great game. If you haven't played it already, it's a great game. It's the reason I wear backwards hats, and I'm not even exaggerating. That's like Deacon wears backwards hats, and I thought that was a cool look. So that's why I started wearing all my hats backwards like this. I can wear it like this sometimes for certain hats, but all my hat, a lot of my hats are flex fit. No BFG, one punch and Doom Guy knocks the head. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, Doom Guy probably wouldn't. I'm just saying, a BFG blast would kill RoboCop, and he probably wouldn't even need it. He probably could punch RoboCop's head clean off. Would you like to pilot an orbital frame? No, I would not. Maybe he wouldn't win, but he could. Doom Guy at least put up... No. I don't think RoboCop would put up much of a fight. Not even if you give him all of his weapons and he give him his jetpack. He could try to put up a fight, but it wouldn't do much. What if you were commissioned to make a fight feature wild pussycats versus... I don't know what either of those are. I've never heard of either. I don't know what wild pussycats are, and I've never watched My Hero Academy. I don't know what that is. Will you get a Grand Theft Auto 6? I'm going to rent that, but I'm not going to own it. And I'll beat it once and I'll return it. Would you be interested in Days Gone sequel? Of course I would be. Fine, RoboCop versus Cloud? I guess RoboCop in that sense. Terminator 2 is one of my all-time favorite films, dead tie with X-Men Days of Future Past. Well, that's good to know. It's a fantastic film. I don't understand why the movie Dread Back 2 never got a sequel. Because it did bad in the box office. I don't know why. That was a great film. It deserved a sequel. I don't know why. I mean, to be fair, it did take a lot of inspiration from The Raid. It was it was pretty much the same plot, but I think that's easily Carl Urban's best role he's ever done in his career, like without question. Dredd is an awesome film, and it's actually one of the few films that actually uses slow mo properly. They actually incorporate it into the plot, and it works beautifully. Like that scene at the end when spoiler alert, he throws Mama out of the building and she like slowly comes down, and then when she hits the ground, her face literally explodes. I was like, beautiful. What's your favorite, most violent movie? I don't know about violent, but a movie that stands out was probably Rambo from 2008. That last action scene was pretty brutal. That was pretty brutal. It's pretty gory, pretty brutal, pretty damn loud. I think that's the only movie I've ever come out of where my ears were ringing. Like that movie was so the gunfire in that was so damn loud it hurt my ears. Dredd 2 would be amazing. I agree. I would love a Judge Dredd video game. There is a Judge Dredd video game. There's a bunch of them. They made a bunch. There's a bunch of Judge Dredd games. Now, what I think there's even one as a first-person shooter that's kind of like Doom-like, but not a lot of people know about it. I've seen Lord of the Rings 3, and it was a masterpiece. You mean Return of the King? Well, yeah, it was an awesome film. Some made a mod for yeah. I've heard of that. Mystery stream tonight? Yeah, there'll be one. I'm still trying to figure out what game to play. I mean, maybe I don't know. I'm still not sure. I'm still messing around with Assassin's Creed. Oh, by the way, I don't think I showed anybody this. I finally was able to find one of these babies. Like, I was just in the store, in this retro store, and I happened to see this, like, just lying there on the counter. And I asked, was it for sale? And he says, yeah. And I was like, I just had to, I could not. This cost me like $120. It was like one of those things, like, if I had ever seen this in person, I just could not leave the store without it. I was like, I have to take it. Like, they could have charged me $200 and I would have taken it. Like, this is just too good of a remote to pass up. So. Have I seen Invincible? I've seen like a few episodes, but like not a lot of it. Do I think a video game that stars a composite RoboCop would be interesting? There already is one. Have you not played RoboCop Rogue City? It's actually a really good fucking game. It really is. Like if you want to play like a really good RoboCop game, that's not just a good RoboCop game. That's like a really good first-person shooter, and that's rare to find. Have I ever played Nintendo Wii version of Resident Evil 4? No. I do not play with nunchucks. Does not work. Have I seen YouTube's video replacing weapons with lightsabers? Yes, I have. I think that Peter Jackson went to make one of the goriest zombie movies in history. Dead or Alive, Lord of the Rings trilogy is nothing short of incredible. Yeah, I agree. I mean, okay, let me guys ask you. Okay, you know what? Okay, it's not really much of a mystery stream, but it is a game stream. But like, I'm curious, what do you guys want me to stream? Like, for some reason, I gotta do something with my computer. Maybe I gotta upgrade it. For some reason, Halo is just not cutting it, so I gotta figure out something. Like I've been trying to get that to play. Maybe I have to like reinstall it or something. But like, what would you guys want me to play? Like, I give you your options. Like, these are the games I have already installed on here. I have like Assassin's Creed Shadows, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5, Cyberpunk, God of War Ragnarok, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Apex, and Astro Playroom, and Hogwarts Legacy. Have I played Star Wars Dark Forces? Yes, I have. So I'm not sure what, like, and we have, like, what? Like, less than 5 minutes left in the stream. So, okay, we got 1 vote for Dragon Ball. There's like 6 of you, so get your votes in now. Okay, we got 2 for Dragon Ball. Okay. Wow, I was not expecting that. We got 1 for Kingdom Hearts. We got 2 for Dragon Ball and 1 for Kingdom Hearts. Any other votes? You better get them in now. Because there's like 5 of you, so. Best way to get Terminator Kingdom Hearts. Okay. I think that's. Okay, I see 2 for Dragon Ball, 2 for Kingdom Hearts, and 1 for God of War. Okay, that means there's a. Okay, and there's 5 of you. Okay, we need a tiebreaker. Dang, I need someone coming here to break the tie. So we got 2 for Dragon Ball, 2 for Kingdom Hearts. Best way to get Terminator 2 on DVD? No, get it on Blu-ray. All right. Well, we got a tiebreaker. Does anyone want to change their votes, or are you guys holding? Because if we do that, I'll just flip a coin, and we'll let God decide what we play next between Dragon Ball or Kingdom Hearts. So is everyone locked in their votes, or does anyone want to change? If you're locked in, just say you're locked in. Like that's what you're locked in. Because I was hoping like a 6th person would come in here and break the tiebreaker. Okay, you got locked in. Okay, comic is... Okay, I guess... Alright, I guess it's Dragon Ball, because comic and Zach and Chillix picked Dragon Ball. Okay. Alright, guess it's Dragon Ball. Alright. Rogue One ignored Kyle Katarn from Dark Forces. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know it did. Alright. So, alright. I think that's where we'll end today's stream. Give me literally like 3 minutes and we'll jump right into Dragon Ball. And hope you guys had fun. And hopefully I will see the 5 of you in the live stream. We'll play Dragon Ball FighterZ for about an hour. And if you have the balls to want to challenge me online, I would gladly accept a challenge. Because I don't think I've yet to play anyone online yet. I've stuck with playing the computer on hard difficulty, and I'm doing pretty well. So yeah, all right. So I'll see you guys in about a few minutes for Dragon Ball FighterZ. So thanks for jumping me on the live stream, and hopefully I'll see you guys in a few minutes. So until next time, or I'll see you in a little bit.